Crime intelligence boss Dumisani Khumalo reinstated despite fraud and corruption charges. South Africa pushes back as the US tries to block G20 declaration. And spider mega colony the size of a tennis court discovered in a cave. Hello, I'm Jane Dutton.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.
Crime Intelligence's Dumisani Khumalo has been reinstated as head of the unit. Khumalo was removed in June after he and 6 other crime intelligence officers were arrested on fraud and corruption charges linked to the hiring of 30-year-old Dinea Mokwele. She was placed in a senior role without vetting or policing experience. Although Khumalo is back in the job, he still cannot enter the crime intelligence offices due to his bail conditions. An early Christmas present for consumers. The Reserve Bank's Monetary Policy Committee has voted for a repo rate cut.
We have moved away from the 3 to 6% target range, which was established 25 years ago. The revised target, agreed between the Minister of Finance and myself as Governor of the South African Reserve Bank, is 3% plus or minus 1 percentage point. As we move from a range target to a point target with a tolerance band, it is important to understand what the new target means. The tolerance band of 1 percentage point either side of 3% does not mean we will be indifferent to inflation anywhere between 2% and 4%. We want to be at 3%.
President Cyril Ramaphosa has taken aim at the United States, saying countries must treat each other as equals and not resort to bullying. This follows the US boycott of the South African G20 Leaders Summit and is warning that Pretoria should not issue a declaration that excludes the American position. Receiving the G20 Social Summit declaration in Boksburg, Ramaphosa said global pressures and shifting geopolitics cannot push inequality off the G20 agenda.
This is only the second social summit of the G20 program initiated by Brazil during its presidency last year. President Cyril Ramaphosa has told the gathering that their inputs will direct the agenda of government leaders when they meet this weekend to chart the road ahead. In a twist on a regular refrain by US President Donald Trump when he speaks about South Africa, Ramaphosa said the social summit of civil society groups have demonstrated what global solidarity and inclusiveness are all about. With the G20 representing 2/3 of the world's population, Ramaphosa says all nations have the right to be heard.
It cannot be that a country's geographical location or income level or army determines who has a voice and who is spoken down to. And it basically means that there should be no bullying of one nation by another nation. We are all equal.
Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News, Boksburg.
The Umkhonto weSizwe Party has announced its position on the G20 Leaders Summit, saying it remains opposed to the international gathering expected to sit this weekend. The party said while it understands the purpose of the event, it has argued South Africa should prioritise fixing its domestic challenges. Despite evidence suggesting he interfered in high-level police matters, businessman Mahorti insists he never meddled in policing. He's under cross-examination at the Madlanga Commission, where evidence leader Matthew Chaskelson has dismissed parts of his testimony as hearsay. Mahorti sent a Constitutional Court judgment to suspended Police Minister Senzo Mchunu, claiming it had implications for senior officers, including Crime Intelligence Head Dumisani Khumalo. Commissioners say this was clear interference.
Claims of CIA operatives, coded messages and accusations of political interference in high-profile policing investigations from a self-proclaimed secret agent. The testimony by controversial Northwest businessman Mahorti before the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry sounds like something straight out of a 007 movie. And according to Madlanga Chief Evidence Leader, Advocate Matthew Chaskelson, Mahorti's testimony is on par with a James Bond script.
I'm reminded of what the villain says in one of those early James Bond movies, which is, once is happenstance, twice is coincidence, 3 times is enemy action. We're at about 8 times. and you want us to believe that they're all just coincidences.
Mahorti could be seen fumbling, scratching his head at times, trying to come up with answers during cross-examination that was simply not making sense. Arun Singh, Eyewitness News.
Parliament's ad hoc committee on SAP's corruption has today been probing a 360 million rand healthcare tender awarded to controversial businessman Vusimuzi Matlala. SAP's Divisional Commissioner Molefe Fani has been explaining how Matlala's company, Medicare 24 Tshwane, was chosen from 22 bidders to screen new recruits and provide healthcare for police ministers. He said he was unaware that the Anti-Corruption Directorate had warned the National Commissioner about Matlala's alleged links to corruption at Tembisa Hospital. Fani says the bid evaluation and adjudication committees found the paperwork in order and raised no concerns, and the 3-year contract was awarded in June 2024.
The ad hoc committee today focused its business on tender-related matters and Vusimuzi Matlala's multi-million rand tender, which was cancelled last year. Evidence leader Advocate Lerato Zikalala questioned Police Divisional Commissioner Molefe Fani about whether they saw any red flags when Matlala's company was shortlisted. Zikalala also asked Fani about the company's failure to sign a franchise agreement since it didn't operate from its own premises.
What it indicates is that the franchisee did not sign, which makes the document not to be complete.
So doesn't that mean that a mandatory requirement wasn't complied with?
It would appear, well, it is not being complied to if the signatures are not complete.
Just to clarify, is that a yes?
It's a yes.
Fani says they failed to spot red flags about Matlala's involvement in the Tembisa Hospital tender fraud because due diligence was conducted elsewhere. Babalo Ndenze, Eyewitness News.
Women and men against child abuse say it is encouraged by how the courts are handling the extradition inquest of alleged paedophile teacher Ian Wares. He appeared in the Simonstown Magistrate Court today on a UK warrant linked to more than 90 charges from his teaching days in Scotland in the 1960s. The Western Cape High Court has already ruled he is liable for extradition, and former Justice Minister Thembi Similani signed it off. The 86-year-old was arrested last month, and today's hearing is to confirm whether he can be extradited on all charges.
His case has been postponed until the 30th of January for all the parties to be present in court and for a date for the inquiry to be set up. You will remember that he's facing about 90 counts, which include 60 counts of sexual assault, 4 for rape, 25 for assault, and 1 of criminal injury. The state will ensure that, we are trying to fight to ensure that he is extradited back to the United Kingdom, where he needs to face the courts.
A Russian spy ship has entered British waters and aimed lasers at military pilots. The surveillance vessel has been moving in and out of UK waters for weeks, but this is the first time its crew targeted British pilots with lasers. Defence Secretary John Healey says the ship is also inspecting undersea infrastructure, calling the move deeply dangerous.
We deployed a Royal Navy frigate and RAF P-8 planes to monitor and track this vessel's every move, during which the Yantar directed lasers at our pilots. That Russian action is deeply dangerous, and this is the second time this year that this ship, the Yantar, has deployed to UK waters. So my message to Russia and to Putin is this: we see you, we know what you're doing, and if the Yantar travels south this week, we are ready.
Scientists have discovered a huge spider web inside the Sulphur Cave on the Greece-Albania border. It covers about half a tennis court and holds more than 111,000 spiders. The cave is also packed with other insects like centipedes, scorpions, and beetles. Researchers from several European institutions say the web spans 106 square meters and is shared by 2 species that normally live alone, around 69,000 house spiders and 42,000 dwarf weavers. It's also the first recorded case of these species forming a colony on this scale. A sulfur-rich stream runs through the cave, creating a perfect ecosystem for this unexpected mega colony. I hope you like spiders. We'll leave you with those images.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent.